Good morning, everyone, and thank you for attending our Spring 2022 Co-Admission Showcase. This morning from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, we are showcasing UNC Charlotte's 49er Next program. And first up to speak today is Anthony Almanzar, and he is a Wake Tech Academic Advisor, and he is here to share a little bit more about 49er Next, and then we will introduce UNC Charlotte representatives.
Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm the academic advisor in the Wake Tech South Campus, but also the main contact and advisor for the UNC 49er Next program co-admissions partnership. I make sure that future UNCC students are taking the right courses they need to try and transfer successfully to their intended major at UNC Charlotte. I also give academic support and making sure that students are maintaining good standing so that way they're able to transfer successfully to the university. The cool perks about UNCC and Wake Tech partnership is that you get to feel like you're a UNCC student while being at Wake Tech at the same time. You even get a student ID, and you get a student ID in both UNCC and Wake Tech, and feel like you have a sense of community at the university as well. And to tell you more about the program, I will introduce Jamie and Jessica, who are the direct contact for UNCC, and they're also the advisors for the UNCC program, for the UNCC 49er Next program as well. So I will give the torch to them so they can talk more about the program and what are the benefits of being a UNCC 49er.
All right, folks. Well, thank you again for having us here. We are so excited to talk to you about the 49er Next program. As Anthony mentioned, this is a partnership program between UNC Charlotte and Wake Tech Community College. So we are very fortunate for our partnership. We all work very, very closely. And today we are going to shed some light on this program. It is fairly new, and talk to you a little bit about the benefits, a little bit about why this program is unique, how it can benefit you all as students, and we'll talk a little bit about how you join the program, who's the right fit for the program, and all that good stuff. So first and foremost, we'll start with a couple of introductions, and then we'll have that overview for you guys, explain how you join, and then we'll leave some time for questions. Since we know that there are lots of these programs available to students and you're trying to make their best decision. So we're going to leave some time for you guys to ask those questions of us. As you heard from Anthony earlier, he is our point of contact for the 49er Next program at Wake Tech. So he does advise you all during your time at Wake Tech in collaboration with us at UNC Charlotte. So my name is Jamie Dawkins. I'm the Senior Assistant Director for Transfer Admissions here at Charlotte. I work in the Office of Undergraduate Admissions with the 49er Next team, and supporting you all through the guaranteed admissions portion of the 49er Next program. My colleague Jessica Young, I'll let her introduce herself, and she also supports the 49er Next program here on the Charlotte side of the house.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Jessica Young. I'm the Associate Director for 49er Next Advising. I am located actually within the University Transfer Center here at Charlotte. So I work directly with transfer students all the time. And most specifically, a lot of my time is spent with our 49er Next students and partners. And so you will hear a little bit more from me. And at the end of this presentation, as we talk about how the advising aspect and the unique aspect of 49er Next and how we work with Anthony, for example, in this program and support students.
So first and foremost, we want to give you just a brief overview of the program. So 49er Next is our partnership program with Wake Tech. It's designed for students who are partnering community colleges who have intentions of furthering their educational journey at UNC Charlotte and earning a bachelor's degree with us. This program is unique. So there are lots of co-admission programs across the state, but 49ers is definitely a little unique in that it does have that guaranteed admissions aspect, but it's also designed to promote student success through this collaborative advising approach. So essentially what's happening is during your time at Wake Tech, your advisor there is collaborating with us here at Charlotte. We have you guys on designated pathways for your intended major at Charlotte, just to ensure that everything you're taking at Wake Tech directly align with your intended major with us, so that you can have that streamlined transfer process. Of course, with the co-admission program, the guaranteed admission is a really key and critical part. We know that that's something that excites you all. We are excited about it. So our students who successfully complete an associate degree, so a transferable associate's degree, are guaranteed admission to Charlotte. That means if you are at Wake Tech, you join the 49er Next program, and you successfully complete your associate's degree, you are guaranteed admission to Niner Nation. So the associate degree, we'll talk more about the eligibility, but it is a specific associate's degree. So there are certain transferable associate's degrees that we do require 49er Next students to complete to receive that guaranteed admission. Again, you will receive that collaborative advising where you're meeting and working with Anthony throughout your time at Wake Tech, but you're also on the back end have the support of UNC Charlotte, who's verifying the coursework you're taking, connecting with Anthony, talking through certain situations, making sure those math and science and those key pre-major classes are all built into that associate degree prior to you getting to Charlotte. And we do this through these guided pathways that we've already established and built. Also through the 49er Next program, you do receive major and career exploration support, and I'll talk more about this here shortly. We also offer various workshops, including financial aid workshops, information sessions. One of the really exciting things about 49er Next is that students that are in the program, they're completing that associate's degree, receiving that guaranteed admission, also get early registration and advising access here at Charlotte. So actually during your last semester at Wake Tech, you'll move forward with meeting with your advisor at Charlotte and registering for classes significantly in advance of other incoming transfer students and incoming first-year students, meaning more access to the classes that you need to progress more seamlessly through your program once you get to us. Of course, our office here in undergraduate admissions supports you on the enrollment side of the house. So we are here to support you through the application process, making sure your documents are here. We also help manage and update your transfer credit throughout your time at Wake Tech. So every semester as part of 49er Next, we receive your transfer coursework or your transcripts from Wake Tech, and we are adding your transfer credit as you progress through your time at Wake Tech so that along the way you can check your status and how those credits are coming over to Charlotte. One of the other cool things Anthony mentioned is that you do receive a UNC Charlotte ID card. And this is a really cool experience because it allows you to be a Niner if you want to come down to Charlotte every now and again and be on campus, go to our library. You certainly have the ability to do that. You can actually go to athletic events. So if you and a few of your other 49er Next friends want to make it down here for a team visit and come for a football game or basketball game or anything else, baseball, we would love to have you. And with this 49er card, you certainly can be doing that. It also gives you access to our University Recreation Center, which is a beautiful new facility if you want to pay a little extra fee there. And then, of course, you can also get access to a discounted rate of a CATS Pass, which is our City of Charlotte transportation services. So we're really excited about this. It does allow you, as Anthony mentioned, to feel connected to campus, come to campus throughout your time at Wake Tech, and be a Niner as you're preparing for that transition over. So that's one of the really cool perks for our 49er Next students. The other thing is that career and major exploration support that we do offer. So all 49er Next students have exclusive access to some modules that were built by our University Career Center. So our University Career Center did create modules specifically for 49er Next students and helping you better understand the majors you're interested in and the possible career options that align with those. And so these have been designed for you all so that you all get easy and earlier access to our Career Center, but also start having that clear pathway of what your timeline and what your future career plans look like as you prepare to make your way to Niner Nation. One of the other pieces of 49er Next is that we understand that financial pieces of the transfer process are really critical to your success. They're critical to you making that transition over. And so throughout your time in 49er Next, we actually offer various financial aid workshops and sessions. Some of these are just with Wake Tech Financial Aid, and then some of them are also in conjunction with our Office of Financial Aid here at Charlotte. And we do this for a couple of reasons. One is because financial aid at the two institutions does look different. So we want you to have all that information and all that knowledge as you're moving through your transfer process. So there's no surprises and that you have everything in place to make sure those financial side of the transfer process goes seamlessly as possible. But we also want you to know who the financial aid folks are at Wake Tech and be able to ask those questions as well as understand who those folks might be with us, and so that they can support you as you are admitted to the university and navigating that final pieces or those final stages of the transfer process. And these happen each and every semester, and depending upon where you are in your 49er Next program will determine which of the financial aid sessions you'll attend. So obviously early on in the early on in your 49er Next program at Wake Tech, you'll attend the sessions with your that we host in conjunction with your Office of Financial Aid. And then as you get ready, closer to transfer to Charlotte, that's when we'll start bringing in the UNC Charlotte Financial Aid team to have those discussions with you as well. All right, Jessica, I'll turn things over.
Thank you. All right, so just to talk a little bit about what is an eligible program at Wake Tech for you to be able to participate in and to be a part of the 49er Next program. So there are some what are called transferable associate's degrees, and I know as a new student this is all new and all confusing, but don't worry, Anthony's here to help you kind of understand that part of it at Wake Tech. But those degrees that we are hoping the students are going to be working towards are what's called the Associate in Arts, the Associate in Engineering, or the Associate in Science. So those are the eligible transferable degrees for the majors that we have here at Charlotte that we would like for students to be in to participate in 49er Next. There are some small exclusions here in majors that we offer at Charlotte that are not part of 49er Next, and that would be the engineering technology, some of our fine arts programs, architecture and nursing. And it's not that you cannot come to Charlotte for those majors. Absolutely, please do. We would love to talk to you about those, but those have secondary admissions processes for these in place. And so since those are not included in our 49er Next program. So the things that we do also want to talk about is while attending Wake Tech, kind of what are the expectations and what are the pieces that you need to be following as a 49er Next student? The number one thing is remaining in good academic standing in order to transfer to Charlotte, and that's a 2.0 or higher GPA. We also really encourage participating in mandatory advising each semester, and really that means meeting with your Wake Tech advisor every semester just to stay, on track, to check in and to see kind of where you are standing. We'll talk a little bit more about the classes that you would take there at Wake Tech and what we would typically recommend. But because there is kind of a process already set in place, just doing your due diligence, meeting with your advisors every semester there is really going to be helpful. And it also kind of gets you used to it because that's something that you would do here at Charlotte as well. One other thing, and so at the completion of about 30 credit hours at Wake Tech, which is about halfway through your associate's degree there, we do want you to also kind of confirm with your academic advisor there what your intended major may be here at Charlotte. You will pick one in the very beginning, but we also recognize that you guys, things change, your interests change, your, understanding of things and what you've learned about what future careers could look like could change, and that's okay. And we have some processes built into place for that. So making sure those classes are going to be just fine, regardless of kind of where you change to. But we do want to make sure that you are indicating with us what that intended major officially is going to be, because there is some tracking pieces on our end that is beneficial for you all. And we'll share that in a minute as well. And of course, if if things do change and you do decide to unenroll or opt out of the program, these are options for you. We just want to make sure that you also let your 49er Next coordinator at Wake Tech know that information. And Wake Tech has an email address just for 49er Next, which we'll share again at the end of this presentation. But that's 49ernext@waketech.edu. All right, so a little bit more of the meat of academic advising and how we believe that the 49er Next program is a little bit different from some of our other co-admissions opportunities around the state. It's a really truly collaborative approach. And so what that means is there is a constant feed of information and communication between us and Wake Tech about you specifically as each individual student. And so because you're a Wake Tech student, your advisor is a Wake Tech advisor. You are still going to meet with your advisor there at Wake Tech because you are still their student. We are just communicating with them kind of on the back end, like Jamie mentioned earlier, to continue to have those conversations. And so what we are doing on the back end is we're closely monitoring what you are taking and what you're working towards in completing that associate's degree to make sure it is aligning with your bachelor's degree or intended bachelor's degree here at Charlotte. And so what that means is we actually are sharing your information. So that means that your classes, as you are completing them at Wake Tech, are automatically transferred over to Charlotte at the time of you completing them. It's not when you apply to the university as to when all that transfer credit comes in. That transfer credit comes in as you are completing it at Wake Tech in like live time. And so we're also looking at that every semester just to kind of see, oh, we know that you're interested in maybe our business majors here at Charlotte. So we're making sure that you're also taking the right classes while you're still at Wake Tech. And just to know of like, hey, just by the way, you might need to look at this class or this GPA or something like that, because while you're enrolled there, we're continually monitoring it. And to make sure that we are taking the right classes, we've completely taken the guesswork out of this for you all. So just know that as you are completing that Associate in Arts, Associates in Science, or Associates in Engineering, that is all transferable coursework, for sure, guaranteed. By completing that associate's degree, you are also coming over with your general education complete here at Charlotte. You won't need any more general education. With that said, we are aligning different classes based on the majors that you say you're interested in. So we built specific structured pathways. It's very prescribed for you. And I'll show, not yet, but in just a second, I will show you the kind of the categories that we put you all in. We know there's probably gonna be some questions about that, but we have some categories of structured pathways based off of some general interests of students that we would have you take different coursework in. And so the goal of doing this is we know that certain majors have certain kind of group classes. So as you change your mind, this isn't necessarily going to be an issue for you. You're still going to be remaining on track. The other thing is that our goal for you all is completing that associate's degree is also coming to Charlotte as a true junior. So not just having 60 hours of your 120 required hours, it is also making sure that you are in our true junior and senior level classes for the major that you want. And so just to talk a little bit more about it, so this is something that we term it as meta majors, and you may or may not have heard some of these kind of structured pathway terms before, but really we group students into about 6 different categories of interests or majors that we would have you take. And you'll notice some themes here, like natural sciences. These are students pursuing biological or physical science majors. And we also have the degree that we would like for students to pursue. Don't worry, Wake Tech is checking that for each, making sure you're in alignment. But in associate in science, for example, our students who are doing a computer science or math degree actually taking a lot of the similar coursework, believe it or not. And so we group those together, and you'll see some of these kind of other examples here as well. But these are things that we are monitoring, and we are kind of tracking you in as well. All right, back to Jamie.
So since we are really focusing on working alongside of you, alongside your support team at Wake Tech, another piece of the support comes from the side of admission. So 49er Next, as we mentioned before, it is a guaranteed admissions program. So any student that is guaranteed admission as part of the program, as long as they complete one of those associate degrees, Associate in Science, Associate in Arts, or the Associate in Engineering, you are required to have a 2.0 GPA within that associate degree to be guaranteed admission to Charlotte. So know that through your time in 49er Next, you will hear more from Jessica and I. This is not the last time you will see our faces, but we will work with you and we connect with you when it's time for you to apply. So you do actually apply to Charlotte as a transfer student during your last semester. We'll give you guidance as to when to do that. We also prioritize you in the review process. So actually am in the weeds of it now, but as our 49er Next students are getting close to transferring over to Charlotte, I actually review and decision those students and get their decisions to them in a very quick and timely way. They are prioritizing that decision review so that we can get your decision to you sooner, so that you get your financial aid award sooner, so that you can come to the earlier orientation for access to advising and registration prior to your other transfer peers. So you are a main priority for us in the admissions process. And again, as long as you're completing that transferable associate's degree with a 2.0, you are guaranteed admission to UNC Charlotte. Now, I will tell you that guaranteed admission is to the university with that 2.0 GPA. Some of our majors are slightly more competitive. So we do have our business degrees, our computer science degrees, and our engineering programs that are more competitive. They have additional GPA requirements as well as specific course requirements. And you'll see those here on the screen. Now, I don't want you to panic about this because our goal through 49er Next is to get you admitted as a junior and directly into your major. So part of 49er Next, because we are ongoing sharing your information and tracking you throughout the time in the program, our goal is that we're also tracking you not just for general admission to the university, but for admission into your intended major. So if you are wanting to do business at Charlotte, Anthony and Jessica and I were tracking that along the way to make sure you're maintaining the 2.5 and that you're maintaining those C's or better in those key business progression coursework. So we are working to make sure that you get guaranteed admission to the university. You have to do your end of the associate's degree with a 2.0. But if you want one of these competitive majors on the screen, we're also helping guiding you and making sure you're aware of those additional requirements and trying to keep you on track for those as well. So just something to keep in mind. Of course, if your major is not listed here, know that the associate degree with a 2.0 does guarantee you admission to the university and your major. It's just these couple of majors here on the screen that have a couple of additional requirements. And it's designed that way just to keep you on track and aligned with the curriculum requirements. All right. So how to join our 49er Next program? We are kind of in the weeds of that right now. So some of you guys may have heard about 49er Next in various ways. We do have wonderful partners at Wake Tech that are always promoting this great program. You may have heard from it directly from us here at UNC Charlotte. But if you are interested in joining our 49er Next program, now is the time to do it. We do it through an interest form. So on the Wake Tech website, there is actually an interest form. When you go to waketech.edu and you just search 49er Next, all the co-admission programs that Wake Tech has partnerships with will populate. You'll see UNC Charlotte 49er Next there, and you can complete the interest form. So this interest form just simply is as simple as that. It just puts your information into our system. It allows us to review you, make sure that you are a good fit for the program, and make sure you still have enough time at Wake Tech to utilize all the benefits of the program. And then it essentially, by completing that interest form, we are putting you into the 49er Next program, assuming you have still at least a year or so left at Wake Tech, and can actually benefit from all the benefits of this program. So it's simple. All you have to do is complete that interest form to get going with the 49er Next program. You're not required to meet any certain like GPA requirements or anything like this. This is a program that's designed primarily for first-time in college students. However, we are working with some students that have been enrolled at Wake Tech maybe for a semester or so that are still interested in it. We will certainly do our best to work and get you guys into the program as well. But it's a simple interest form. And by completing that interest form, you will start getting communication from Anthony and the 49er Next team as a whole that walks you through other information you need, information about our sessions that we do, times we're going to be visiting your campus, when our workshops will be held, how to access the different UNC Charlotte perks like your ID card and other things. So there is more to come once you complete that interest form, but that is certainly the first step. And we do ask you to get that done prior to ideally by July is kind of our goal for you guys. All right, we have come to the end of our formal presentation. And so now Anthony, Jessica, and myself are here to answer any questions that you all may have about the 49er Next program.
Yes, and also I have my contact information.
Oh, we lost you there for a second, Anthony. I think you hit mute.
Whoops, sorry. So I also I'm going to also type in on the chat box my name and my email address. That way if you all have any questions about the 49er Next program or how to start the process, please contact me as soon as possible. I'd be happy to guide you and get you started. So email and name right over there. I don't know if you guys received it yet. Hold on. There we go. And if no one has any questions yet, I have some predetermined questions that y'all maybe might be thinking about that I can ask our wonderful UNCC representatives. All right.
We're ready. Go for it, Anthony.
All right, let's go for the first question. Hold on. Oh, did I lose it?
Anthony, it does look like we have a couple questions that popped up. Are you able to see them?
Yeah, hold on. My computer's like a little strange, but
That's okay. And I don't mind asking them if I need to.
okay, there we go. Okay, so to join the program, would I need fewer than 15 credit hours?
So that's a really good question. This program is really designed for folks that are going to be at Wake Tech for a little while longer and that can utilize the benefits of the 49er Next program. So we do recommend that students have fewer than 30 credit hours complete to join. So as long as you're, within your first semester, your first year at Wake Tech, you can still participate in the 49er Next program. If you have more than 30 credit hours, you can totally still transfer to UNC Charlotte, and my team in admissions can help you and support you through that. But the 49er Next program isn't quite the right fit for folks with more than 30 credit hours already complete. But if you have fewer than 30 credit hours, I think the 49er Next program would be a really good option for you, especially if you know Charlotte is where you want to be.
Correct. All right, so next question. I'm undecided on my major. Can I still be admitted?
That's also a really great question. Yes, we do kind of have a track for those students who are undecided. We do definitely encourage, working with your career center at Wake Tech, also be reviewing our modules, just because, our goal is also to really help you kind of do that seamless transfer to Charlotte and to kind of get out in that time frame that you would hope to be at Charlotte. But you don't have to have it all figured out. We really fully recognize that you won't. And even if you pick something today, You may change that by the time classes start in August. So we do have kind of a track for that. You can say that you are undecided, and that is okay. We definitely would encourage a little bit of kind of exploratory classes, but I know Anthony's kind of an expert and kind of giving you guys some classes to kind of explore a couple different majors at a time based on what your interest would be. But that's where that career services piece really comes into play, and where we would encourage you really working with your career services department at Wake Tech, and then reviewing our modules and kind of going from there too.
Yep, and that would be the first thing I would do for you all. If you are undecided, I would definitely refer you to Career and Employment Resources, which is a great department, because what they do is based on your interests, they'll match you with all these different degree plans that you'll lean towards more. And by the end of the first or second semester, you'll already know what you want to do. I promise. And I'll make sure that you all have the courses that are intended to transfer for your intended major. So you won't have to worry about that by the end of the second semester, I promise.
And as kind of Jessica alluded to earlier, we have 171 majors at Charlotte. We have a lot of programs to choose from, so I know that can feel a little overwhelming as you're trying to figure out what is next for you. But what is nice about 49ers and our kind of advising approach is that we have started grouping certain majors with similarities together. And so as you're working with the career services team at Wake Tech and maybe exploring the 49er Next program, you may start identifying some themes or some areas that that maybe you haven't narrowed it down all the way, but you have some groupings or some themes that you found you're interested in. And that's where those meta majors are really helpful, and how our proactive advising approach is really helpful, because even if you're not exactly sure which business major you want, or you're not exactly sure if you want to go into the liberal arts degrees, we have some of those programs looped or grouped together, and I've identified courses at Wake Tech that you can take that would apply for both as you're finalizing that major decision along the way. Also, on average, right now, nationally, students are changing their mind about their major about 3 times. So you are not alone. It is okay to not know what you want to be when you grow up. So we understand that, and that's part of the great things about 49er Next is it's designed to support you in that exploration time.
All right, let's have one of our predetermined questions that we will ask right now. And one of them is, when is the best time for a student to apply to the UNC 49er Next program?
So I think the best time for a student to apply would be right as they're getting started at Wake Tech. So if you are a student and you know that Charlotte is where you want to be, joining 49er Next from the get-go is the ideal situation. That way you're receiving the proactive advising approach throughout your entire time at Wake Tech. So from day one that you enroll in courses there, you're in the program and you're receiving all the dedicated and collaborative advising to keep you on track. So I think that is one of the ideal times, but it's not required. So again, if you have fewer than 30 credit hours already complete, you can still participate in the program. The other thing is that in terms of timeline, so our interest form went live on March 1st, and it will close over the summer. However, the sooner you complete the interest form, that is when you formally enroll into the 49er Next program, and that's the sooner you can start connecting with the advisor, Anthony at Wake Tech, and getting everything squared away with your schedule. So I do recommend the sooner the better in terms of joining the program and completing your interest form, especially, again, if you're a student that knows Charlotte was where you want to be. The sooner you can join the program, the better, because that way you're starting to connect with the 49er Next support team as early as possible in the process.
All right, so we have one question here. What is the current acceptance rate for the 49er Next program?
So all of our students can join the 49er Next program as long as you're pursuing a transferable associate's degree at Wake Tech and wanting to do one of our approved majors at Charlotte, and you have fewer than 30 credit hours complete. So if you have fewer than 30 credit hours already complete, you're in a transferable associate's degree, and you are wanting to pursue one of the approved majors at Charlotte, you are going to be able to join 49er Next. We don't have a space capacity or anything like that at this point. So there's not really an acceptance rate for the program. It's just for our students, it's an open program for students that want to be at Charlotte, are earning a transferable associate's degree at Wake Tech, and are wanting to pursue one of our eligible majors, and who are, going to be at Wake Tech for at least another year or so.
basically you're all accepted. The thing that you all have to realize is that you do have to maintain a 2.0 until you complete Wake Tech, just so that way you can be admitted, so you can be officially admitted into the school. So as of now, you will all be accepted once you fill out that form and work with me, and we'll make sure to get you there. Okay, so the next question. I have 12 credits from another UNCC school, but will graduate from Wake Tech next year. Is that okay?
So I think that that's a little unique situation because it sounds like you have previous transfer credit and you've already established or completed a good bit of coursework at Wake Tech. I think a transfer to Charlotte is certainly an option for you. What I would recommend is that you send your name and your student ID number to the email that's on your screen, that 49ernext@waketech.edu. And what Anthony can do is Anthony can kind of look over your credit, how far along you are in that associate degree, and really determine if 49er Next is the right fit, or if a traditional transfer in conjunction with Anthony's team of advisors and our folks here at Charlotte is a better fit for you. So if you have a good bit of credit already under your belt, maybe some previous transfer credit, maybe you've been at Wake Tech for a little while, before you complete the interest form, I would just recommend you send Anthony an email at 49ernext@waketech.edu. Include your first and last name and your student ID number, and he can kind of look at your record and look at where you are in your associate degree and determine if 49er Next is a good fit or a more traditional transfer is a good fit.
All right. So next predetermined question, once a student is admitted, what type of advising assistance are they provided?
So I think this might be kind of joint between you and you, Anthony, and myself. So depending on the major that you're interested in at Charlotte will kind of determine what, I guess, path that we would recommend in terms of an advising approach and where you already are. So if you are a brand new student, that looks a little different if you have already completed a semester, and depending on where you are with your math and maybe your English classes. So it really will depend on the major that you're interested in at Charlotte. And then going from there is where the recommendations would be for which kind of classes and which pathway we would essentially set you on for where to start.
Absolutely. Oh, we got another one. Hold on. Okay, so do you offer networking opportunities for students once admitted to the program? If so, what types of opportunities are offered?
So we do offer different sessions. So I will be transparent with you all, letting you know that 49er Next with Wake Tech came to fruition during the pandemic. So we are still navigating what it's going to look like as we transition out of the virtual world. But yes, we do offer information sessions each and every semester, usually a kickoff and things like that, where students can come together. They hear from the 49er Next support team, but they can also connect that way. The other thing is that as students are pursuing their transfer to Charlotte and in the 49er Next program, there's a pretty good likelihood that they're going to be in classes with one another during their time at Wake Tech. And so they will likely get to know one another for that. The folks at Wake Tech may also put on different programming for the 49er Next students. We have obviously our financial aid workshops that we host on the UNC Charlotte side of the house. So it is quite likely that you, as part of 49er Next, are going to connect with other students that are in the program through various capacities and different, not only through your classes, but potentially through the workshops or sessions that we host on UNC Charlotte side, and then any programming that Wake Tech plans and puts into place for you guys as well.
All right. So, do we have any more questions, everyone?
It looks like one more just popped up, Anthony.
Okay, perfect. Okay, will I have to leave? Will I have to live on campus?
So that's a good question. Upon transferring over to Charlotte, we do not require our 49er Next students or transfer students to live on campus. So transfer students are not required to live on campus. You certainly can. We do have housing options on campus for transfer students, but it's not going to be a requirement.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jamie and Jessica and Anthony, for presenting and sharing all that amazing information. We're going to give students just a couple minutes if they have any last minute questions they want to drop into that Q&A box. And I'm going to place a survey as well, a survey link in the Q&A announcement area. So students, if you can fill out that survey just to give us some feedback on the event. And we'll just wait a couple more minutes, see if there's any other questions. Looks like one more question popped up.
All right. So, I took 3 years of French in high school. I took 3 years of French in high school. Do have to take any other languages? Sadly, your high school languages do not transfer over as a college credit. So you will have to take languages, especially depending on your meta majors, but more than likely you will have to. A lot of the UNC system schools are making it a requirement for students to complete at least 2 levels of languages at a 4-year university. So you will have to take a specific language again.
Yeah, and I'll jump in too, just to add a little bit of context. I think it's going to depend on your major here at Charlotte. So you're definitely going to have to follow whatever is required for you as part of your associate's degree at Wake Tech. So if language is required, then yes, you would complete it. Now, by completing your associate's degree at Charlotte, your general education is exempt, and depends on your major. So not all of our majors may require language very specifically. So it's kind of a depends question. So of course, that would be another great question to kind of send in based off of your specific interests to that 49er Next email, because you may or may not need to take additional language for Charlotte specifically. But of course, fulfilling anything that is required at Wake Tech will be part of what you would need to do for your associate's degree. But some of our majors don't require additional languages in college, so you may or may not have to.
Also, some of our majors, you are exempt from foreign language if you're earning that associate degree. So, so it is possible if you did 3 years of high school foreign language, while those credits, Anthony's right, those credits don't transfer with you to Charlotte. They don't count as college level foreign language, depending on the major you want to study with us and depending on the associate degree you plan to earn. It is possible that foreign language may not be part of your curriculum.
All right. So next question, when is the deadline to apply for this program? I think we said sometime in July, right? Or did we extend it to?
Ideally by July 1st would be the time to do that. Of course, you would need to still apply to Wake Tech as a student or be a Wake Tech student. And then as long as you submit that interest form by July 1st.
Great, and I did put a link to the interest form in the, it's at the top of the Q&A announcement area for students, so that's in there, as well as the 49er Next email and Anthony's email. So you have our contact information. I just want to say thank you again for everyone who joined today. I'm going to let Blair go ahead and close out our session. It doesn't look like we have any other questions today.
Yes, thank you all for attending the 49er Next UNC Charlotte co-admission program. We really hope that you apply and that you work really closely with Anthony as well as Jamie and Jessica if you're interested in transferring to UNC Charlotte. Again, we will be recording this and uploading it to our advising YouTube channel. So if you have any friends or family that are interested in UNC Charlotte or the 49er Next program, feel free to share with them. And if you do have any questions after this live event, feel free to email the advising email or Anthony or Jamie or Jessica themselves. And we thank you again, and we will go ahead and end the event.
Take care, everybody.
Thank you, guys.